Sex, money, and mess, what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize.
Plenty promises, it's promises, no family ties. Beating court cases surround me like a gang of flies. I seen a gun to keep it moving, only fantasize. About my equilibrium, I need to answer why. I need these banknotes in millions and parcels for my many men to lay up in the B and see this D up in between my thighs. I fantasize about these angry guys. Killer fams, they never knew I wanna murder guys. You an accident murderer, you wanna earn your prize. Coming off of niggas looting all these hammers fly. I came up off the hustle game was crucial. You govern then they shoot you. Understand my whys? I could still be on my hammer shit. No, but the MC in me burning like this cannabis. I'm paramount on Atlas. Peep the flash you hit the Sorrento. It's the only thing that's switching up. The game chill like mental. Yo, who are you is Kimbo? I've been broken, came up it, lost that and still cold. You niggas joking, still broke. Bring my niggas in and out. I'm about to hit the books, I'm the accountant. Tunnel vision, Rook versus all them cooks, I am surrounded. Pretty like the pound it. My white barking louder than these gang events. Ain't none of you ain't been a threat. I'll show you how this 30 get. That's my age guard, it's been the next planet for the president. These pussies on the internet, so flashing on what game they rep. I never knew about Snoopy and Connect. I was the first female to run the rappers rap. You twisted cause I cut the dress. Tough principle, I'm older heads. You surely brought this bread though. When I was talking about my kinfolk, them years ended zero. There's deuces on the decade. You jump on so still fade. I'm coming through the fuck it up like Luke Cage. I'm wavy like the loose spray. And still on point. Come on, go, playing in the loose cage.
Girl, money get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. When y'all were getting shot up, I was getting my bars up. I'm still getting caught under the best in Toronto. Sex, drugs, and murder for money. You coming from me, I'm fucking gully. You still living, then you was lucky. You a public figure, trying your best. In this fight, we fight to the death. You bitches lost your sight and your breath. Taking your senses for granted. We came up here and mirrored the mats. And you and your homie gon' be sharing your casket. We carry the ratchet. Instead of you, a burial package. It's very relaxing. The way we taking care of the package. Get carried in plastic and dumped from an aerial vantage. My moms used to say I'm always taking advantage. Nah, cause really I ain't taking the fact shit. Like these are kind of people make reports and the flag shit. And I'ma work float like a stain in a damn shit. So I defend this bitch, I be strapped like Stan Smith. And boy, that ain't no reference. I love the glitzy 1911, my preference. Get you fired from your job with a severance. I kill the biggest bear like the Revenant. Don't wear your fur bits so everybody serve it. Fuck around with Charlie, but I'm getting on some murder shit. Big gun, and you know I'm gonna defend the turf with it. You bubble like a stripper on the pole when I'm working it. Shake up your vehicle like it's turbulence. My A-Rap keep explosives where it's turbulence. You feeling cold, I'll turn the heat on you, courteous. My trendy niggas put the poison in your curry dish. Mr. Obio, Mr. Pipe, Burger Heads and Okra. Boy, I'll get you soaked up. Tie them up and roped up. Chain look like gold dust. What's up, you know us. Flash down and still get your dough cut. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. 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 Welcome to the Cousin C Show. Now sit your ass the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Hit the gas mask, let the gas mask. Funky rappers, where your ass at? You went last week, enjoy the past week. Lucky our music is everlasting.
Braggadocious, I brag the mostest, cause I spit it hotter than toasters. Check my name out on all the posters. When I hit the stage, drinks hit the coasters. Women packed all the way to the third row. We ain't in the strip club, we call it Perv Row. I don't know what you heard, ho. I'ma tell you straight, baby. I'm a surf pro, running game like a pimp bitch. Yeah, I'm running game with a limp bitch. The big dog gonna teach you some tricks, bitch. Get out there, catch a date and stack my chips, bitch.
Hit the gas mask, hit the gas mask. Funky rappers, where your ass at? You went last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting.
The future, track bruisers. Cut the beat in the back of the cruiser. Fuck the game up, Kama Sutra. In my Red Rover, I will run right through ya. Growl on the mic like a beast should. Go hard on the beat, think Clint Eastwood. Walk on water, everybody knew he would. Written in the scriptures, scholars knew he could. On my own, Julius Caesar. Take away my world, I only need her. But you coming, only wanna be heard. The phoenix shall rise upon my return. Get the gas mask when we spark that.
How much was it?
I think we parked that.
Gas mask, let me pass that. Funky rappers, where your ass at? You went last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting. Get the gas mask, let me pass that. Funky rappers, where your ass at? You went last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting.
I go Coco, so loco. Whoop whoop, no coco. Yeah, don't know. I'm so pro, go so slow in a low. Twisting like Toto. Oh no, throwing game like Tony Romo. Even the G's love me, no homo. With the crew, that's a no-no. I'm hydro when I flow. When I flow, it's tidal. Surf the beat, watch my roll. Grab the mic, kick hard like Tybo.
Gas mask, let me pass that. Funky rappers, where your ass at? You went last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting. Gas mask, funky rappers, where your ass at? You went last week, enjoy the past week. Must be why our music's everlasting.
I bet I make these niggas run for my nigga, 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 run. I bet I make these niggas run for my nigga, just to flash off the blue steel, cap bill. He looked at his man, and his man feel it's real. Out here, shit hits the fan hard. I open niggas doors to their crib like the landlord. This shit wasn't planned, God. Niggas tried to humble me. I told this bitch to leave my house when she was trying to comfort me. This bitch thought I did this, so she told her bro to run for me. Came on a fight thing, but I wasn't. I made him run for me. Yeah, I got my gun out. Told this nigga turn around. Have 5 seconds to run, or you gon' flat the ground. Took off, fell face first when he heard the sound. I ain't even hit this nigga. I think the sound is sound. Nigga went in shock, and I never seen his face again. I did it by myself. I wasn't trying to catch a case again. Next day he called my phone. Off of my thing. Told him come where I'm at. It's gonna be a shot. Run for my nigga. Run for my nigga. Run for my nigga. Run run for my nigga, run for my nigga, run for my nigga, run for my nigga, run for my ladies niggas, run for my nigga, 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 run for my nigga.
Run from a nigga when I ride with the fifth row. Do a home invasion, get the fuck, tell them sit out. I didn't give a fuck about that bitch that he did out. She's sitting right there and I still slap this whip out. Yellow take the place, call the corners the fastest. Niggas say they want my head, well now I'm laughing. The big bump to the straight line, scan fastest. And if you do, then the scene will get drafted. Stressed out, who got a blunt, can you pass one? Wake up every day with dots like it's my last one. These cops better free for a cause hell. And I got more bars than the Don jail. Fucking wild, sight bitch when I walk the nine. There ain't no limit to this living, nigga, fuck this guy. Trust him, why? I can't trust him with a fucking try. Fuck these guys, I'm an ape, I bet I make you lies.
Run for my nigga, 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 run for my ladies niggas, run for my nigga, 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 run for my nigga.
Black and green bandana, black bandana, 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 black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green.
I'm that gang shit, I'm that we don't play shit. Let it spray shit, flossing ain't okay shit. Let it bang shit, let your colors hang shit. On that crazy shit, chopper spit and flame shit. Know you ain't shit, know you mad today, bitch. We done made it, off the block we skated. Massachusetts, made its way to New York State. Puzzle piece gang, we can take this whole country. One block at a time, bricks and halves, quarters, dimes. Flip it one more time, stacking paper, godless crime. Facts like shit, you dealt with on the real quick. Extra clips, plastic filter to the tin.
Black bandana, black and green bandana, 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 black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green.
Tony Montana, he ain't got your shit on us. Now, throw up children in the car because we get no fuck. Throw up your flag, throw up your signs and represent. Play with the crew, no KT guns, slit your neck. We dangerous like Buster Bus in 97. We aiming bustin', you wanna stay way to heaven. I'm about to like to get the fact of fucking white. I got that hard, that soft, that quick, that fucking white.
And when we saw last week, when it got to be, well, everything the president does is political. It was like, wow. You know, look at each other and go, is that it? Really? That's your bombshell? And then the other two things that he brought up were contradicted by other Trump officials saying that didn't happen. Right. That's an outright lie. That didn't happen. Right. And then it was like, that's it? Right. And now we're to Tuesday, and it's like, that's it? And the only thing we have now is the judge and his opinion based on the third party that it's Bolton who has hurt national security. Right. Not when you look at the whole story, it's like, okay, Trump does political things, okay, and other things you accused him of, other people in administration who were there.
And looking at it from the bigger picture, but then they just go towards like one media company that said this, and then they reinforce their behavior, their notion to believe a particular social issue or phenomenon.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Well, as Jevin West said, tell them to tune in and listen to Global Questions, and they might be enlightened. All right, let's go to Rudo Bruckenberger in Salzburg, Austria. Rudo, what do you want to ask on Global Questions?
Yes, hello. I wanted to ask if we need to include more space in the public discourse for people who believe in fake news, so we can confront them rather than ridicule them.
Oh, that's interesting. So rather than ridicule, confront. Jevin?
That's a great question. It's one that I've been struggling with in our new center that we have at our university, devoted to this, where we go out in the communities, both big and small, and
web streaming is made possible by MTSU. Those looking to make an epic comeback during this economic slowdown can turn to MTSU graduate studies to retool their skills and invest in their futures. GMAT and GRE waivers available. More at mtsu.edu/comeback.
Because I do think that a lot of these groups and individuals are still in the minority, and they, using technology, can amplify these kinds of ideas. And so I just want to be careful that we don't amplify but engage, and that's a hard line to toe.
Okay, Rasmus?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question, and I wish we always asked ourselves that question when we think about problems of misinformation. As was just said, it's clear that there are some who are in bad faith, who are just asserting things that are false because that's the way in which they want to gain power or make money. But most people are not, I think, most of the time in bad faith. The world is much more ambiguous and complex than that. And if we want to engage with people that each of us individually might think are potentially misinformed, I completely agree with the way you frame it. Sort of starting out by suggesting that people are dumb and or evil is rarely a particularly constructive
believe what he did, oh, don't. Kitchen service beats feeding addiction. My money straight to slap, I leave you fucking bitchin'. I wing from flags of black and green like LA Crips. But we ain't them, this puzzle piece came here, bitch.
Black bandana, black and green bandana. 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 Black bandana, black bandana, black and green. 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 Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana.
How about the off-the-radar sport that's getting views?
Marble racing. There's a channel called Gels Marble Run.
BMW through the final corner.
Videos were viewed over 9 million times globally in March 2020.
Marbles, who knew? Something else to pass the time until you hear the words.
Game on! Game on!
I'm Simon Bennett.
I honestly cannot wait to join a marble racing league. 680 news time, 2:51, time for traffic and weather together on the one. Here's Lego Ranger.
Well, looking at a couple of collisions on your major routes. First, southbound 427, just south of the 401. Left lane is blocked. We've got cruisers showing up on scene here, tow truck. Doesn't look like there's any emergency vehicles yet. Also got a call from a traffic spotter earlier reporting this collision that there's debris in all three lanes. So just to be careful if you're driving through there. They may have already cleaned up that debris. But again, you will need to get out of the left lane. You will see the flashing lights as you travel by. This is a south 427 just south of the 401. Northbound 400 at Innisfil Beach Road, another collision there. Right lane is blocked, but everything remains up to speed going past this. Again, crews on scene. You'll just need to get out of that right lane. 401 is shut down in both directions at Trafalgar Road. They're doing some bridge construction, so you will be forced off the highway coming eastbound and westbound. But the good news is you are able to get right back onto the highway at Trafalgar Road. If you're traveling eastbound on the QEW, the ramp to the east 403, just east of the Ford plant in Oakville, that ramp is closed. If you'd like to access the eastbound 403, best bet is to exit off at Ford Drive, take that northbound, and then take Upper Middle Road eastbound, where you can join the highway that way. There's a ramp onto the east 403 off of Upper Middle Road. All other major routes are in good shape. We still got a police investigation going on the eastbound Derry Road ramp to the northbound 410, so that ramp is blocked. And then another police investigation going on in Scarborough at Galloway Road. It's closed in both directions, just south of Lawrence Avenue. Next report at 3:01 with your forecast. Here's Malia Sheikh.
29 as our daytime high on your Sunday, feeling like 34 with the humidex. Mainly cloudy skies with a slight chance for some showers in the late afternoon and a low of 18. Monday, sunny conditions, a daytime high of 26, closer to our average high of 25, feeling like 33, so that humidity is sticking around, a low of 17. Tuesday, a daytime high of 26, mainly cloudy skies with a slight chance for some showers, a low of 18. Your high for today, 29 degrees.
In Toronto right now, we are looking at clear skies. It's currently 21 degrees. And over Toronto Pearson Airport, very similar conditions, clear skies, 20 degrees. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll see the latest on Toronto Pride Parade, first virtual parade. More on that coming up. 6:80 news time, 2:53.
Time for a new air conditioner? Call in Reliance. Right now, you can get a featured air conditioner from Reliance Home Comfort and save 20%. That's right, you can save 20% on a new air conditioner today. Have an emergency? Call us anytime, any day. Rest assured, we're also taking every precaution to keep you safe. And as always, you can count on our next day or we pay $500 installation guarantee. When you need to beat the heat fast, call on Reliance. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Keeping your family safe is our first priority.
Trust 680 News for the latest on the coronavirus.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day on your radio,
680news.com,
the Radio Player Canada app,
or ask to play 680 News on your smart speaker.
Doctors in Arizona are expressing frustration over a surge of COVID-19 cases in the American Southwest. Ben Thomas of the Associated Press has more.
Once you start to have every hospital full.
Dr. Lisa Goldberg is the emergency room director at Tucson Medical Center.
And you have a virus that is spiraling and spiraling with more and more people becoming positive and therefore at risk inherently of getting sick. It's always concerning because what do we do? Where do we put those patients?
Arizona health officials reported another 3,500 plus confirmed cases Saturday, attributing the number to both increased testing and community spread.
It's difficult when you're watching people on beaches, people in restaurants, everything open up as if nothing is wrong when you know exactly what this virus can do.
I'm Ben Thomas.
Coming up next, your weekend business report. 680 news time, 2:55.
Different isn't any less. Different is just new. Staying at home, we've all learned new ways to shop. Some more convenient than before, like having everything delivered, curbside pickups, virtual consultations, and shopping in person, but with a few safety protocols.
White stripe right here.
No different. Car dealerships are open. Shop in person, or book a virtual meeting, or shop online. You might just discover buying a car online is more convenient than before. You have great new options. Talk to your dealership.
Every day in Canada, 3,000 mortgages renew. Important announcement. If your mortgage renews in the next 90 days, contact butlermortgage.ca. 1.92% 5-year fixed rate at renewal. No gimmicks, no fees. It's the same mortgage as your bank. If you qualify, you save thousands. 1.92% 5-year fixed mortgage rate at butlermortgage.ca.
License number 12118, high ratio fixed rate transfers APR of 1.93%.
680 news time, 2:56. Now time for the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Carl Garnage. Canadian companies are taking action to keep workers engaged as they work remotely during the coronavirus pandemic. According to Universum's second COVID-19 survey of talent acquisition managers across North America, which did close at the end of May, the global branding firm found that 55% of businesses are trying to understand employee needs when it comes to motivation and engagement. Jason Kipps, managing director for Universum Canada, says companies are trying to be proactive in a variety of areas.
Things like mental health, also really working to make those resources available to their employees. I think a lot of employers were, kind of hoping this would go away. That's not the case anymore.
The data also found that only 14% of companies reported that workflow and productivity has become easier, while working remotely during the coronavirus pandemic. And Kipps notes that these businesses have been able to adapt and benefit from remote working, but
for the rest of us, it's definitely a whole extra layer of work. It's a whole extra layer of crisis management on top of the work that we're already doing. So it can be particularly challenging.
As companies continue to work through the pandemic, Kipps says it's really important for businesses to recognize that this is the new normal.
We still have the companies we survey around the world, about 19-20% are still thinking that I don't think that's going to serve these organizations as well as the organizations are embracing this and trying to create
Canadians are starting to open their doors again. Nissan is ready with amazing deals.
University possibly.
Are you kidding? Look at my smile. This is radio. Oh, sorry.
You're listening
Look
to
at my
88.9.
No, they can't see you. You're killing the vibe. With parcel and truck delivery, curbside pickup, and DIY project videos, find everything you need for backyard projects at Rona.ca. Do more at home, outside. Conditions apply.
Now time for your regional weather conditions in Caledon, clear skies, 17 degrees. In Milton, clear skies, sitting at 18. Richmond Hill, clear skies, 18. Oshawa, partly cloudy, sitting at 21 degrees. The news watch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. 680 News time, 3 o'clock.
680 News, Toronto.
Good morning. This is Sunday, June 28th. I'm Veronica Thor. And I'm Jordan Coulter. Here's what's making news this hour.
51 years to the day since the Stonewall riots and the beginning of the gay rights movement. Today is Toronto's virtual Pride Parade.
An anti-racism demonstration set to take place in Nathan Phillips Square this afternoon, with groups calling for a big cut to the Toronto Police Services budget. Toronto police are investigating after a child was hit by a tow truck on Saturday in the city's Weston neighborhood. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada will be
This week's PGA Tour stop and another UFC card is complete. Sports at 15. And coming up in business, the economic downturn has been called the She Session. We look at one program aiming to help women bounce back.
680 News Time, 3:01. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Michael Ranger.
This report brought to you by the Seasons on Little Lake. Couple of collisions to look out for if you are out on the major routes. First, southbound 427, just south of the 401. The right lane is blocked, left lane is blocked, rather, and then just further along the road approaching Rathburn, part of the same collision, right lane is blocked. We've got emergency vehicles in both spots. So just south of the ramp to the 401, you're going to need to get out of the left lane of the southbound 427, and then just beyond that, as you approach Rathburn Road, it is the right lane that's blocked. There's a police vehicle there. Both vehicles were involved in the same collision, I believe, but they're just a little bit further down the road is the second vehicle. Northbound 400 at Innisfil Beach Road, right lane is blocked there with a collision cruiser on scene, not causing any delays. You'll just need to get out of that right lane. 401A is closed in both directions at Trafalgar Road. They're doing some bridge construction, but the good news there is you're able to exit off the highway right back on at Trafalgar, coming both eastbound and westbound. Eastbound QEW, no access to the East 403. That ramp just east of the Ford plant in Oakville is shut down, so you can take northbound Ford Drive to eastbound Upper Middle Road and then rejoin the East 403 that way if you are trying to go from the QEW onto the eastbound 403. All your other major routes are in good shape this morning. Discover the seasons on Little Lake, the perfect place to call home on a townhome starting from the mid-300s. The Presentation Center opens July 11th. Book your appointment at seasonslittlelake.com. Next reports at 3:11 with your forecast. Here's Malia Sheikh.
A daytime high of 29 degrees on your Sunday, and with the humidex, it's going to be feeling more like 34. So certainly a hot and humid day. If you are outside, make sure you do protect your skin with a UV index of 9, which is very high. There's also a chance for some showers in the late afternoon, a low of 18. Your high for today, 29 degrees.
Right now, downtown Toronto, 21 degrees under a clear sky, and over at Pearson Airport, similar conditions, clear skies, 20 degrees. 6:80 news time, 3:03. It's usually one of the biggest events to take place in the city every year, Pride. And while COVID-19 has put a damper on the festivities this year, the city is getting ready to celebrate virtually. 680's James Mackin joins us with more on the history of the day and how you can take part in Pride events in the city later on.
It's been 51 years since the beginning of the gay rights movement with the Stonewall riots, when
started
gay and
exactly
transgender New Yorkers rioted against police suppression. And not even COVID-19 can slow them down now. This morning, Mayor Tory will attend an online coffee and mimosa mingler with PFLAG. This is a warm-up for the big event, the virtual Pride Parade, which Mayor Tory will also virtually attend. This year, the Pride Parade starts at noon, and you can attend it from the comfort of your living room.
Yeah, I grabbed the cherry 4 times today and did not feel
and people of color.
that.
Alanis Morissette and Halsey will appear, as well as a few other celebrities. After this, there will be an anti-black racism protest at Mayconfirm Square at 2 p.m. It might not be the same this year, but nonetheless, the city's making sure that we can all celebrate Pride. I'm James Mackin.
A number of groups are demanding an immediate 50% cut to the Toronto Police Services budget. An anti-racism rally is scheduled to take place this afternoon at Nathan Phillips Square. This comes as demonstrations across the globe continue after the police-involved killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. The demonstration, called Abolish Police in Canada, a Pride rally and teach-in, is organized by the No Pride in Policing Coalition with Afro-Indigenous Rising. It's also sponsored by a number of anti-racist groups. 680 News Time, 3:05. A small group of people gathered in front of the Peel Regional Police Headquarters on Saturday to demand justice for a man killed by police. Brandon Rowe, City News, spoke with the nephew of the man, Hassan Chowdhury, and joins us with more.
It was last Saturday when Peel Regional Police officers shot and killed 62-year-old Ijaz Chowdhury while responding to a call about a man in mental distress. His family says Chowdhury suffered from schizophrenia, and he was having an episode when police went into his home for a wellness check and discharged rubber bullets and a taser before fatally shooting him.
The reason why we keep pushing and pushing is because we demand answers. It's been 7 days and we haven't been given a single answer. Our family feels like they're not being heard, and our family is mourning.
Many have been calling for police accountability regarding the shooting, so much so that the intersection near where Chowdhury lived has been shut down for days by people protesting his death. The police chief says that the SIU is investigating the 2 officers that were involved in the shooting, and once the SIU's investigation is completed, they plan on contacting the family and community about the next steps they commit on taking. Brandon Rose, City News.
680 News Time, 3:06. It's been a decade since the G20 riots in Toronto that left the country speechless. Erica Natividad of City News is speaking with a law professor and policing expert.
In the immediate aftermath of the G20 riots in Toronto, police were accused of acts of brutality, as well as egregious infringements on charter rights. The controversial methods used on civilians back then still plague policing a decade later.
It was a pretty sorry day in the history of Toronto and in the history of policing.
The police presence was massive, an estimated 20,000 officers. There were mass arrests of over 1,000 people and accusations of excessive use of force. Riot officers surrounded and closed in on a group of protesters, holding them in place for hours in a technique called kettling.
There's really no room for complacency, and that's why I think it is important for us to remember these events.
Of the estimated 20,000 police officers in Toronto during the G20 protests, only 2 were given disciplinary convictions and penalties for their actions. One senior officer for ordering the mass arrest, and a constable for beating a protester with a baton. Erica Natividad, City News.
6:80 news time, 3:07. Meantime, south of the border, the FBI is investigating after a piece of rope resembling a noose was found in a black firefighter's locker in Minneapolis.
Can't begin to tell you how angry and disappointed and sad I was.
Bloomington Fire Chief Yuli Seals speaking out after what appears to be a noose was found in a black firefighter's locker.
This is not who we are as an organization. This is not who we are as a community, Bloomington, but clearly to at least one person, this act of intimidation and cowardice is indeed who they are.
According to a release from the city, the rope was discovered June 15th. It was reported 8 days later to leadership. The FBI now investigating. The city plans to update the public Monday. Lionel Louise, ABC News.
6:80 news time, 3:08. A 9-year-old boy is in hospital with serious injuries after being hit by a tow truck in the Weston neighborhood. Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson says it happened just before 5 Saturday evening.
Scarlet Road and Eglinton Avenue West. We had reports of a collision that a 9 or 10-year-old boy had been struck by a tow truck.
That tow truck fled the scene after hitting the child, but Toronto police say the driver returned later on. There's no word on charges. The boy's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. 6:80 news time, 3:08. Toronto police also looking for help finding a man who reportedly drove into the Old Mill subway station in Etobicoke on Saturday. The driver allegedly jumped out of the vehicle and ran northbound after the crash. The suspect, described as a male in his 20s with a shaved head and wearing a white t-shirt. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. 6:80 news time, 3:09. Ottawa is committing $300 million toward the international effort to fight COVID-19. The Prime Minister says Canada will chip in $120 million for a new initiative, the Act Accelerator, which was created in April by the World Health Organization, the French government, the European Commission, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Justin Trudeau says it supports organizations, health professionals, and businesses in their efforts to develop a vaccine. The PM announced the new funds in another virtual international fundraiser over the weekend. Meantime, Sportsnet shining the spotlight on women who are breaking the glass ceiling in the sports world with a weekly show that debuts tonight.
Women's sports is on the rise, but the coverage isn't just yet. A weekly series in Sportsnet aims to change that.
There's little things you can do every single day to help empower others.
It's called Top of Her Game, hosted by Tara Sloan.
There's no excuse right now to not focus on women in sport and women's sports. The stories exist. The stories are incredible. The women are incredible. The athletes are incredible. So, I feel very fortunate that Sportsnet has provided this platform so that we can start getting these stories out there.
Tonight, Sloan talks to WWE Trailblazers Stephanie McMahon and Charlotte Flair. Top of Her Game debuts tonight at 6:30 on Sportsnet. I'm Simon Bennett.
This is 680 News.
Now the 680 News gas price update. And the price went down 2 cents at midnight to $1.09 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News time, 3:10.
Your home is your castle, your refuge, your safe place.
Our job at 1-800-GOT-JUNK is to make junk disappear.
And we're good at it.
Your home will feel bigger
and cleaner.
And you'll feel happier.
We promise.
Give us a call
or go to our website
and your junk will magically disappear as our truck drives past your home.
Well, almost.
We'll be in and out before you can blink.
And our gloved professionals touch nothing except the things you want to disappear.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
It's 680 News time, 3:11. It's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Michael Ranger.
We're still looking at a couple collisions out on the major routes for southbound.
Look, can't we just finish things slowly and calmly? You're not on stage now. You're just talking to poor little me, Mike Shane, and you're leaving me way behind. How about a little less razzle-dazzle?
Okay.
Huh?
Just okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
I get wound up sometimes.
You certainly do, Miss Bancroft.
Mike, I'm scared. I really am.
Yeah, I'm just finding it a little tough to adjust to the new rate of speed. Well, I've adjusted now, so you're scared. What up?
I don't know.
You don't know? Now, look.
I want to hire you for 3 days for protection night.
Why 3 days?
The play ends at New Orleans run in 3 days. After that, I'm going away for a while, alone.
And I'm not going to tell anyone where. I'll be all right then. So I want you to protect me for the next 3 days.
Just a minute. How am I supposed to protect you if I don't know what I'm protecting you from? Now, what is it?
Someone. I don't know who. And I certainly don't know why. But whoever it is, he's trying very hard to kill me.
In a moment, we'll return to the new adventures of Mike Shane and the case of the left-handed man.
Black bandana, black and green bandana, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana.